Jackson on front. And incomplete to open things up.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. He gets it to Cooks. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction. So now what can they do on 3rd?
Watch left. Here we go, Steve. Set up.
To throw again is Jackson. Taking a shot for Samuel. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better. Move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Here we go, D. All day, defense. 21. All day. Easy.
Here's Stafford. Flushed out right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. If that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Buddy up. Hey, Mike 40, Mike 40. Here we go, here we go.
On second and 11 now. Jackson, it's caught. Smith. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
On the double. Hey, no, let's switch the mic right here. We'll go Mike 40, Mike 40. Here we go, here we go. Check 26, Neil. Delta.
Third and 2. Here's Jackson. He can run for it, and he will. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Play action. Now Jackson. Looking in zone, but it's... And it's second down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
We got 4. Hey, look, 3.
On second down, it's Cook. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal.
No. Off.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
Off. 40's the mark. Squeeze.
Here's Jackson. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr., his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10.
54.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The first down carry here for Johnson. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease.
54. Watch the run. They're running it. Zebra. He's coming, double up. Hey, stay at home. Stay at home. Stay at home.
On 2nd and 9. Stafford, open man is Galladay, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43.
First down, Lions.
Stafford now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Johnson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. 11. Check. Dude. Hey, give me radar.
Throwing on 2nd down. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Monday. And middle. Bravo. Hey. 54, Mike. I got you. Hot. Check, Mike.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
Mike 50. Hey, Delta. Let him know. Hey, easy. Check.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Room here to run. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A big play there for Minnesota.
First play of the drive, a first down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
First down, here's the run with Cook. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21.
Play action. It's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown one interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They go play action now. Jackson. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. 20. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Check tight. Check tight. Hey. 53 is the mark. Ready?
From the gun, here's Stafford. Going for it all. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. From 21 yards away, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the Lions Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Alert 3. 22, check, Ghana. 40's mine. Let's go orbit. Hey, 40's mine.
Here's Jackson on third and long. And that's complete to Cooks. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So on fourth down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay. And it's now the Bears leading by a couple of touchdowns in that one. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
A gain of 26 yards. First down.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Stafford on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch the whip. Omaha, ready to move. Go.
Throwing again. Stafford, he completes it to Jones. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 16 yards, a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Alpha.
On first down, Stafford here. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Mike Hughes came crashing in that time, got the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Lions on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Zone.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Come on, now. Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Get ready.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Hey, Steve 6.
Hey, easy. 54 Mike. Watch the curve.
To throw again. Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Great pick. Good job. That was a great pick. Good job. Check. 280. Hey, Red. Line 54.
Hey, Charlie.
Mike's 54. Hey, Mike's 54.
You must be dreaming.
Hey. Mike. Check. Watch 54. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Mike's 5'4".
From the 50, Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And this is taken in at the 5. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Here we go. That's it.
Jackson throwing again. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This quarterback now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Wide open receiver complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21.
Jackson on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there for Detroit. 58 yards.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Jackson to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He gets it to Cooks. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Trey Flowers, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator.
And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled. Partner,
join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. From the gun, Jackson. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Deshaun Hand make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
No, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Back to the NFL scoreboard for a second. Third quarter in Indy. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
40 got. 40 got.
On first down, it's Stafford. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Set. Get a 20. Check Mike 54. Mike 32. Real right. 22. Watch the twist.
Here's Stafford. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. 54. Hey. Check. Watch 50.
Throwing again. Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson. That'll be complete to Cook. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Come on, Ryan. We better than that.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Jackson operating from the gun. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there. Showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Check. 40's Mike. 40's the Mike. 40's the Mike.
Jackson now. Going to throw again. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Jackson will throw again. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Deshaun Hand has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
3rd and goal, Jackson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Brandon Cooks, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I'm sure the message as they come out onto the field was, hey, take care of the football, because the fumble last possession led to a touchdown. Still a 3-score game, though.
You don't want things to start to snowball. You know, one error leads to another, which leads to another. And then all of a sudden you're fighting for your life down the stretch instead of finishing the game in style, which is what they're trying to do on this drive.
That would be a pretty amazing comeback, but we've seen crazier things happen in the National Football League.
We certainly have.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike.
Hey, 22. Hey, Echo. Hey.
To throw again. Stafford. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Everson Griffin on the sack. Taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
11. Hey. Take it. Hey, exit.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And Stafford's going to be taken down. That's a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles and they've changed plays when they see certain sets? A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure. And boy, did it pay off in this case.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with it?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Play action. It's Jackson. Got his target, Samuel. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw again is Jackson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A very solid gain of 27. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Steps away, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Trey Flowers make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They begin the drive with Johnson. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Set.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Well, design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. 3rd down, and they're going to try the jet sweep. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. So this one.
How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for Detroit, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the